What up, Panther Nation? Pantherologist Rockstar Gang, what's going on, guys? Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All right. So I appreciate everyone joining. How's my audio, by the way? How's my audio? We're good. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if the audio is good. I need to loud and clear. All right, perfect. Good. I'm trying something new. And it was recommended that I do it this way. And so if it's loud and clear and good, then that's all that matters to me at the end of the day. As long as y'all can hear me, we are good to go. All right, guys. Well, make sure you pound the like button as you're coming in. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Also, feel free to join the Discord. We are doing a giveaway, so don't forget about that, guys. I'll explain more of that giveaway as we go on. Got a good show for you today. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. We've got some news and updates to go over. We're going to dive into this Miami Dolphins team, kind of get to know them a little bit more. And then we're also going to be talking about some trade rumors between Jeremy Chin and also Jerry Jeudy. And then we're going to get into my NFL Week 6 picks. So you don't want to miss out. So make sure you pound the like button, share the live, and let's get right into it today. Let me see something here real quick, and then we'll get started. I just got to make sure one more thing is correct, and then we're good to go. Okay, perfect. That's good. All right. Perfect. All right, let's go. All right, some news and updates, man. Some versatile role for Mr. Laviska Shenault. Obviously, there's some news kind of coming out about that. The Dolphins have. Are we going to get blown out in a trap game for the Dolphins? Let me just say this, Marcos Cash. It's going to be very interesting how we do, right? I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I could see it being like a 38-14 kind of game. I mean, I guess that's blown out. I could see it being kind of like the same thing like the Lions game, honestly. I could see it going that way. Um, I just don't see a blowout, but I don't see it being obviously. Hold on one second here. Perfect. Yeah, I don't see it being a blowout, but like I said, I think it's going to be like a 34 something. Well, we're going to dive more into my preview and prediction on that tomorrow. So just make sure you tune in tomorrow. And we're going to go into more of that as well. Jay Issue's in here. What's going on, Panther fam? Jay Issue, thank you for joining the live stream. Guys, as you're coming in, make sure you pound the like button as you're coming in. I appreciate everybody in the chat, and feel free to chat amongst yourselves as I go through the channel today. I will promise I will get to your comments as soon as I see them and get back into it. So I appreciate everyone joining the live stream, and so let's get into it. So anyways, like I was talking about Laviska Shenault, obviously the Miles Sanders is obviously it's time for, obviously he's had challenges due to injuries. And I did Panther Raider X. I did hear about that. The run game has faced a lot of challenges due to Miles Sanders injuries. And of course with the groin injury. Now, is that his excuse? Not necessarily. What's up, JSK? It's at the end of the day, is it an excuse? I don't know. There after watching some of the game film, there's I get it. There's plays with Miles Sanders where he's following what he's supposed to be doing, right? Following his blockers. Sure. I get that. But there was also holes that he missed that were wide ass open that he could have taken, right? So for me personally, I just feel that it's time to sit him. He's not fitting well, and whether that's the case of the ongoing injury, right? If that's the ongoing injury of the groin injury, so be it, right? But you know, despite this, I feel that Chuba Hubbard, Laviska Shenault have shown more promise. So Laviska is going to have that more versatile role, which we've been looking for, kind of like that Debo Samuel style kind of ordeal, right? And they have shown, he has shown more promise, both of them, him and Chuba. So I suggest increasing their involvement in the future for this team right now, because Chenault's unique physical style and vision, I think, coupled with his, limited carries, I think makes him more of a intriguing prospect when it comes to the run game. He aims to contribute to. He's obviously aiming to contribute more in this offense, and hopefully can help break maybe some of this run game slump that we have at this point. Since we're 0-5, all I can ask for with the run game is see progress. I'm not going to ask for them to have breakout games or anything like that right now. I'm not expecting us to beat Miami either, because we're 0-5 and we're having a lot of difficulties going on, not just with players, but coaches and personnel and front office. We got so many issues with injuries as well, talent depth, the list goes on, right? So, there's so much to, really dive into that. But I feel that, you know, for Chenault, it kind of, with running the ball, kind of comes easy to him. I think with Sanders, with his recent shoulder injury, still raises some concerns to me. And if he can't play against the Dolphins, then Chenault and Hubbard should form, I think, a potential dynamic duo. I think they have a better chance of running the ball than I see. You know, I think they have, between him, right, between Chenault and Chuba, I see more potential in them running the ball and being more versatile and being more, seeing more progress from them than I do with Miles Sanders and Chuba. I rather see Chuba and Laviska. We've seen how much more how much more effective it's looked in the backfield when Laviska and Chuba are taking turns. Um, so we'll continue on to that. Now, obviously, there's possibility of trade rumors with Jeremy Chinn. Obviously, we've got some significant decisions to make, guys. I mean, as we approach this bye week, um, this team must decide whether or not to make bold moves to support Bryce Young and his development. I've already said it. I posted it up on TikTok. I posted it up on Twitter. I posted it up on YouTube. Right now, you can't live in the past anymore, guys. We can't live in the past, whether, like I said yesterday, on that shorter in TikTok, you can't say whether, CJ Stroud was a good fit or not, whether they wanted Bryce or they wanted CJ Stroud, whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, we have Bryce. And at this point, you have to just work around it. Frank Wright needs to embrace Bryce, change the offensive system to fit Bryce's strengths, and that's it. I mean, at this point, you put yourself in this position. Well, Frank Wright didn't put himself in this position. I kind of put it more onto the fact of our GM, but also David Tepper getting involved in football operations, which I don't care what anybody says. I see people on Twitter saying, well, he's not doing a Jerry Jones. He's not pulling a Jerry Jones. To me, he is pulling a Jerry Jones. When you're getting involved in football operations and you've never been a high school coach, much less even recruited talent or anything of such sorts, right? Why are you making decisions on who we're taking when you don't even know that, probably a play call, much less, besides the fact that you come from a business standpoint and have worked in the market, right? You're a businessman. You're not a football guy. So let the football guys do the football operations. That's what I'm getting at here. So obviously the point is that with the trade possibilities of Jeremy Chinn, it's about developing Bryce. It's about or selling assets before the trade deadline, right? The Panthers initially have indicated a focus on rebuilding, which at this point, I feel like we've been doing that for past 6 years, but it's not been a true rebuild, in my opinion. It's been a retooling, in my opinion. But there's recent actions that suggest, I mean, we obviously we have a desire to win, but obviously David Tepper wants to win immediately, but when you're not putting the right talent, you're not putting the right coaching system around your franchise quarterback, you're not getting enough depth, and you're not running the right system for your players, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's like I said before, and I'll say it again. Styles wins fights. Same thing in the UFC. Systems work for certain players in the NFL. That's just how it is. Okay. Whether you agree with that or not, that's the honest to God truth, right? I mean, so guys, appreciate everyone joining. Make sure you pound the like button as you're coming in. I really appreciate it. I'm going to get into these comments here in a second. I got to fix something. There we go. Looks like Laviska wants to hurt someone when he runs. That's what I mean. Like, that's why I want Laviska to be involved, because you can tell he's a downhill runner. He puts his head down. He tries to plow through the lines, that's what we need. We need a guy kind of like Deontay Foreman to help out Chuba with the bringing a kind of a dynamic duo all over again. Bringing that kind of mentality of downhill runners is what we need. Right. Yes, the pass catching, we definitely need that. That always helps, especially with the checkdowns, especially with your quarterback. And I think Chuba has proven that he can do that. Right. And a lot of us were skeptical if he could do that. And he has shown that he can. So, when it comes to Laviska, it's that he has that downhill running style. And I think it's going to fit this offense a lot more than what Miles Sanders has given us. And I think Miles Sanders has between this shoulder injury and the groin injury, I think that he needs to just take a bench seat, sit back and relax and heal up. And whether that's going to help him or not, that's to remain to be seen. But at the same time, he's not doing us any favors when we have momentum and you're fumbling the football. So at the end of the day, sorry, it's time, for me, I'm not a big fan of Miles Sanders. I didn't like the signing. We signed him for a 4-year contract for $25 million, 16 guaranteed, $3 million. I think it was like a $3 million signing bonus or something like that. And no offense, he just hasn't lived up to that contract. So Marcos Cash is coming in with a comment. If the Fins drop 50 plus on us, who should get fired? Frank, Scott? I mean, at this point, I have to blame part of the talent and the depth issue on Scott. Whether Tepper was in his ear or not, I doubt that when it came to the free agency, because there hasn't been any rumors that Tepper was getting involved in the free agency. It was more in the draft process. But when it came to the free agency and the talent in that aspect of things, I have to blame Scott on that. Frank, I just don't know if as much as I don't like the play calling and as much as I don't like his attitude right now and how he's just and how he's kind of throwing Tepper under the bus, which he says and basically saying he's hard to deal with. I think that's a part of the issue too. For Frank, if he does go, if he went 0-17, then I would say Tepper will probably fire him. But I don't know for a first-year head coach if Frank Wright is going to get fired. If Frank Wright's going to get fired, but it also seems like Frank is trying to get fired. A part of me also believes in that. I mean, it just the way his attitude is. But the other thing is, when it comes to to our team right now, guys, there's no motivation. There's nobody getting in our players' face. There's nobody out there trying to say, "Hey, guys, let's excel. Let's get in their face and try to give them some kind of motivation." And you don't see that from any of our coaches. And, I was thinking Deuce Staley, how vocal he was this offseason. Where has he been in all of this, right? Where has he been in all of this mess when he's coming out there, during the offseason, getting in guys' faces, talking smack to the defense, and wanting these guys to excel, make it fun, make it competitive, this offseason. Where is that competitive drive? Where's that motivation? Where's that telling these guys, I want you to excel and be better? Where is that coach getting into our players and faces and saying, hey, come on, let's do this. We're better than this, right? Something. I don't even care, what it is, but give me some kind of emotion because we're not seeing it. So obviously we lack the tradable assets right now because I believe that Jeremy Chin could be a valuable trade piece. I mean, unfortunately, he just doesn't fit in Evero's defensive scheme right now. He's playing 41% of snaps on the special teams, and he's only playing like 30% of snaps on the defense and that was in the last game. So, I mean, he has shown that he can. I mean, I know Chin can be a playmaker. I just don't think that I don't think he fits in this defensive scheme that Evero is running. So he's in his final year of his rookie contract. He's getting limited play time, like I said. So it definitely raises some questions about his future with this team, right? I mean, I just think that at the end of the day, you have to look at you have to look at your options because I mean we don't have a number one wide receiver either, so he could be a trade piece in that. I've seen trade offers and rumors around Twitter and social media and articles saying, hey, maybe we trade Jared Judy for Jeremy Chin straight up. I mean that would be great, but the NFL, you're going to try to they're going to try to swindle you for more. So what's up, TikTok? Appreciate y'all in here. Make sure y'all are tapping the screen over here and share the live. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want to get a better view, go to the link tree over here in TikTok. Go to my link tree. Go click on the Ropp Star Report, the YouTube channel in there. You can come over here and check it out, guys. Hubbard or Edwards? Is that user 451? I'm not going to read all of that. Is that are you asking for fantasy wise? So are you asking Hubbard or Gus Edwards? That's my question to you because I'm not sure. Would you trade Laporta for Collins and Waller? Are you getting which Collins? You're getting Nico Collins? I like Laporta a lot. I don't know if I would. Flex advice. Sutton, DeMar Cacado, Jeff Wilson. Sutton. Well, you're going up against the Chiefs. Chiefs are 11-0 since Patrick Mahomes been there. They're 11-0. Dude, that's I mean, if Jeff Wilson, I guess Jeff Wilson's off the IR. I mean, we can't stop the run, so and a chain's out. So, I mean, maybe Jeff Wilson makes more sense. Should I start Pacheco or Kirk at the flex? Pacheco. Should I trade Ayuk, CeeDee Lamb for Pollard and an Amon-Ra? If you need a running back, I would make that trade, but that does not seem very well with CD. It might be fair. For you, user, I would probably start Gus. I don't like our run game right now, so y'all are asking me some random questions over here. Okay, so Nico Collins or Walt. So Laporta, nah, dude, that's tough because I really like Laporta, man. Nick, I really like Laporta a lot. It would be hard for me to give him up. I would see if you could. That's tough. That's a tough one, Nick. Deontay and Brian Robinson for Puka. No, I wouldn't do that. I like Brian Robinson. I'm high on Brian Robinson. So, guys, make sure you're tapping the screen over there on TikTok. Guys over here on YouTube, make sure you pound the like button, share the live, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All right, so the offensive changes for the Panthers. Frank Wright's got to make some offensive changes, which means he needs to hand over the play calling over to Thomas Brown. We've struggled through the first 5 weeks of the season. Obviously, addressing this issue now needs to be improved in operational side of the game. I mean, particularly if you're looking at it, you need to simplify the process for Bryce, okay? And which they've done, right? They've definitely simplified the process for Bryce. At least I saw it in this last game. Instead of him going like this, trying to get the plays like this, he's finally had a notebook or the the wristband kind of thing, but he had it on his waste there, and he was able to go down, look at the play call, and call the plays from there. So that's also made it easier for him. And we saw some progression, at least getting to the line quicker. So because now he's able to not have to hear the plays and then reiterate it. He can just go down, look at it, call the play, then they can get to the line of scrimmage and go. Nick, I would say no to the LaPorta trade. I just wouldn't do it. I really like LaPorta. I'm high on him, and Jared Goff likes throwing the ball to him. That's just a tough call. Darren Waller with the whole issue with I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Should I trade Deebo Samuel for Raheem Mostert and Jared Jeudy? I had Nick Chubb, so I need a running back bad. If you need a running back bad, I would do it. Yeah, I would do it. If you need a running back bad, I would do it. Because Raheem Mostert is going to get obviously more of the carries now that it chains out. TikTok, make sure you tap at the screen. Appreciate y'all. So obviously the Panthers have aimed to increase the tempo over there, guys. I mean, they're obviously trying to increase the tempo of their offense, which has shown promise, particularly in garbage time. So, and then praise for BY9, right, guys? I mean, despite the criticism, he has shown some significant progress, right? Development is apparent. He continues to gain confidence every week. His performance is expected to improve as he minimizes turnovers. The offensive strategy, though, has to align with his strengths, though, at the end of the day, guys. This is when Thomas Brown needs to take over the play calling. Frank Wright needs to just be a game-managing head coach. And Young they need to make sure that the play calling and the offensive system that they're running fits around Bryce, right? That's what they need to do. And it aligns with his strengths. And at this point, like I said, guys, at the beginning of the show, and I said it yesterday, and I said it on TikTok, Twitter, and I made that short, that we have to embrace Bryce. I mean, at this point, we can't look at the past anymore, guys. We got to stop thinking about, well, what could have been? What about CJ Stroud? I don't think it's going to make a difference if CJ Stroud's here. Maybe he might have fit the system better, but with the weapons, the talent, the depth, the injuries, the front office, the lack of play calling, the lack of execution efficiency, time management, the clock management, clock management. It's just there's too many multiple issues for just to say that CJ Stroud was going to be was the better choice. There's too many issues. So I expect Bryce's performance to get better as they build around his strengths. Carlos coming in. Will the Broncos be competitive tonight? No. This is going to be a blowout game. I predict, honestly, because I'm going to do my week 6 picks again here on YouTube. I predict the Chiefs going to win like 34-17. It's going to be a blowout. It's going to be something like that. What's up, Matt Chatter? What's up, Panthers Germany? Sports Network's in here, right? What's up, Sports Network? Panthers World's in here. Marcos Cash, JSK, Panther Raider X, J Issue. All these guys are in here. So, guys, if you're just joining the live stream on YouTube, feel free to get in the chat. Love to hear y'all's thoughts as we go throughout the show today. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're on the road to 5K. We're on the road to 5K for YouTube, guys. So make sure you subscribe. And on TikTok, we're on the road to 10K. So please make sure you're tapping the screen. Make sure you're sharing the live. I would greatly appreciate it. It goes a long way. So, Frank is calling the same plays he called for Matt Ryan. Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't make. It doesn't make sense, man. But the problem is though, when it comes to that Germany, is that not only does the changes have to be made for Bryce, but the changes have to be made for Frank. He has to hand over the play calling reins over to Thomas Brown. And he needs to become a game managing head coach, because we are not only disorganized on the field, right? We're not only disorganized on the field, but we're not executing plays, and the clock management is absolutely terrible. So, and You got to create a system that fits your quarterback. Whether that's why I keep saying, whether if we wanted CJ Stroud or not, you have to embrace Bryce now and you have to fit around his strengths. That's what it comes down to, guys. You have to. Wicked Warlock. Hi, what's up, man? Burke was coming in. I've got Burrow, CMC, Monty, St. Brown, Devontae, Andrews. Should I play Zach Moss, Lockett, or who's MT? Who's MT? Burke. Who's MT? I'm sorry. Michael Thomas. Okay. The thing is with Zach Moss, I mean, he outperformed JT last weekend. And I'm wondering if they're gonna give him some time. Lockett's going up against the Bengals. I think the Bengals are just gonna create a formula to take care of business. I think the Bengals are going to start getting hot here soon because Burrow is starting to feel himself again. So I don't like Lockett. Michael Thomas going up against the Texans is kind of intriguing because I think that's a tough one. I wouldn't start Sutton. Nico or Thielen? Thielen. Thielen's going to still get his. Caden, Thielen's going to still get his. Even though it's a shit show over here for the Panthers. He's still going to get his. Kelsey playing tonight? Yes, Taylor. Kelsey is playing tonight. Dude, Burke, that's a tough call for me, man. That is a tough call for me. Hollywood, absolute. Dylan, Hollywood, easy. Well, no, wait, they're playing the Rams. No, play Nico. I played Nico over Hollywood because I don't think against the Rams, it's just not a good matchup. Purdy or Cousins? I would go Purdy just because I still feel like they're going to be able to get, I still feel like they're going to be able to take care of business, even though the Browns defense is good. But their offense is going to be without Deshaun Watson. So I have a feeling that with the 49ers defense, that Browns defense is going to be on the field a lot. ETN, ETN all day, Caden. ETN all day. He's second behind rushing yards, I think behind Christian McCaffrey, if I'm not mistaken, or all-purpose yards or something like that. All right, chat. Let's see what we got over here. AJ Marshall comes in. Panthers secondary are going to have their hands full with the Dolphins playmakers. Yeah, I think if Dante Jackson's not playing, it's going to be a big issue when Tyreek Hill's on the field because Dante Jackson, I feel like, is the only one in our lineup that can truly keep up with him. CJ Henderson's going to get blown by Jalen Waddle. It's going to be a massacre. I still think, we're going to dive into more of that here shortly. Frank reminds me of the coach from the Waterboys sitting on the bench reading a football for dummies. It's just sitting. Frank, should I play Amari Cooper? I'm not. I have him on my team, KC. I'm not playing Amari Cooper. Hold on, guys. Hold on. What's up, Marco? Oh, what's up, Matt Chatter? I want to know what Matt Ryan had to say about Frank. I didn't get to read it. I didn't get to hear anything that Matt Ryan said. They're gonna put 50 or guys, y'all are killing me. Panthers press conference just went live. Oh shit. All right. Let's see if I can pull it up on. I don't want to get canceled. Not canceled, but taken down off of YouTube. If I can get it on Twitter, it's cool, but no, I can't get it. It looks like it went live an hour ago on Twitter, unless that was yesterday's press conference. But it says Evero speaks to the media an hour ago, and then it says Chris Tabor speaks to me an hour ago. So I don't know. The deadline approaching. Nothing done to bring a better RB? No help for Bryce. Dolphins are arguably the second best team in the NFL. I don't think we're, like I said, like I told y'all, Matt Chatter, I don't see them doing anything trade wise and making any moves until after the until during the either after this week and during the bye week. I don't see that happening. You know what I mean? I just don't see it. So anyway, so there has been some praise for Bryce, though, even though with the struggles. Like I said, I continue to think that Bryce is going to improve. He just has to minimize turnovers. They got to build an offensive system around him at this point. So you got to embrace Bryce. Another thing is, I think that you need to obviously align the system to his strengths again. Mike McDaniel came out, gave him some high praise, thinks he has a bright future. He said he highlighted in his press conference his vision, his pocket presence. So, critics who question his selection at the first overall pick in the draft, he has showcased his talents and potential, but when you're in, he's just didn't come to the right situation, right? At least right now. Like, I mean, does that mean we can't build around him, create a system to help him, embrace him? Yes. So, Marco's Cash. All right, go check it out. I can't put the YouTube one version up. If I was able to, if I was on Twitter, I could do that one, but YouTube will take my live stream down if I do the YouTube version of the press conference. So if it was on Twitter, for some reason, they don't take it down if it's on Twitter. So I don't know why that is. All right, let's get to know the Miami Dolphins. We're going to dive into that because we need to get to know our enemy or our opponent each and every week. TikTok, I'm going to get into your questions here. The last one I saw was KC. Should I play Amari Cooper? I said no. Thoughts on the Arizona's backfield? It's not looking good, but I'd probably go with the Demir Cardo. I think that's his name. They're weak at running back. Who is a good pickup if Amari Cooper, Josh Reynolds, or Curtis Samuel? Either one of those, KC, I don't think you could go wrong with. I would probably go Josh Reynolds over Curtis Samuel because of the situation in Detroit. They're just a better team. And Atlanta right now, the Commanders are struggling right now. So I'd go with Josh Reynolds. Would you trade Keenan and Kamara for Gibbs, Eckler, Okay. Wait, Keenan, Kamara, and Gibbs for Eckler, Olave, and Mingo. If it was just Eckler, Olave for Kamara and Keenan, sure. But for Gibbs and the Gibbs and Mingo doesn't make sense together. Who can they beat on the remaining schedule? Stride 1. That's a good question. I have no idea. I mean, maybe after the bye week, you got 3 matchups that could, the Texans, the Colts, and the Bears, and then maybe the Falcons. But other than that, play the Falcons one more time. But other than that, our team is in such disarray. It's unbelievable. D-Hop or Devontae Smith? I'm big on Devontae Smith. I like Devontae Smith a lot. D-Hop, I don't like him going against that Ravens defense. So I would take Devontae Smith. Thoughts? I already gave you that. I already answered that question. Should I trade Thielen for Lockett? I don't think you can go wrong with keeping Thielen or trading him for Lockett. So that Jacob, I don't think it's not a bad move either way. AJ Brown for Jordan Addison, Garrett Wilson in a dynasty league. Holy smokes, that's crazy. If it's a dynasty league, then that might make more sense because then you're getting 2 for the price of 1, and Jordan Addison could end up balling out. And that's a high upside, right? And Garrett Wilson still has high upside because he's young. So, Thielen or Lockett? Dude, I don't know, Jacob. That's a tough one for me, bro. That's a tough one for me. I think you can't go wrong with either one. Like, I think Thielen seems to be continue to get open, right? He's the only one that on our team that continues to get open, right? So Marcus Cash says, Thursdays are coordinator live press. Okay, that's what I figured. Swift or Lamb? Shoosh. Like to shoot. Swift is going up against the Jets. Lamb's going up against the Chargers. Go with Swift. Go with Swift. Even though the Jets defense is good, I just think that Lamb over there against the Chargers secondary could be tough. But I think the Cowboys will bounce back. But I'm not a big Dak Prescott fan. I think he's mid. Start JT or KJ Osborne at the flex. KJ Osborne has more upside than JT does at this point with Justin Jefferson out, and Jonathan Taylor didn't do anything and got outplayed by Zach Moss. It's that Sky. That's a tough one, man, because it's kind of like that one's kind of like it's a 50-50 for me, because then JT could go out there and ball out, right? But then you got KJ Osborne, who has been a red zone threat for the Vikings. I think you got to go with KJ, though. I think just because Zach Moss outplayed him, they might still, you know what I mean? Panthers need Hollywood. We need something, not just a wide receiver one. I'll tell you that. Burrow or Purdy this week? Either one. I think Purdy's still going to get his, even though they're going against the Browns defense. I think they're going to wear them out, because I think the 49ers defense, or not the 49ers defense, the Browns defense is going to be on the field most of the time, because the Browns are going to be probably without Deshaun Watson. And they're not going to be able to move the ball. But Burrow, I think they're going to have a great formula, great game plan for Seattle. I picked them to beat Seattle. I think they're going to win that game. Thanks for the feedback, man. No problem. Not a problem at all, guys. Trade Addison for Swift. I mean, if you're getting offered that, I would do it. Kirk or Palmer at the flex? I like Kirk. I would start Swift and Eckler, KC. No problem, Sky. Breece Hall or JT? Breece Hall. Even though they're going up against the Eagles, I can't trust JT until he performs. Until he actually do something, you can't trust him. Trade Puka for Alvin Kamara? You need a running back. Start Amon-Ra St. Brown. Start two. Amon-Ra St. Brown, CD, or Mixon, Amon-Ra. Lockett for Olave. If you can get that trade, Jason, I mean, I'd get Olave for Lockett. Hurts or Stafford? Stafford, because they're gonna tear up that Arizona defense. Kamara or Henry? Give me Kamara. Who should I trade Kenneth for? I don't know who you have, bro. Karen Williams or James Cook? Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams, not Karen. Kyron Williams. Hopkins or Olave? Olave. You got to look at the teams they're going up against. That's how I go on it. Okay. All right. So let's continue with some Panthers talk here. So let's get to know the Miami Dolphins, guys. All right, YouTube. Sorry about that. TikTok's asking me some questions over here. Guys, TikTok, if you're in the live stream, go check my link tree. Go to the link that says YouTube channel, and you can come over there and ask me questions as well. All right. You don't have to be subscribed to the YouTube channel to get into the live stream, but I would greatly appreciate it if you followed me here and subscribed to my YouTube channel. All right, so let's get to know the Miami Dolphins. So obviously we're heading over to Hard Rock Stadium against this tough Miami team. This offense is scary, man. I mean, the history that we've had against the Dolphins, guys, hasn't been too favorable. We're 2-5 over the years playing Miami. Over the years we've had, I think in the past And out of that 2-5 overall record, we've only won once in Miami. The last encounter we played them was back in 2021, where they put up 33-10 defeat on the road. And we were on the road there, which I kind of believe that's kind of how this game goes. The Dolphins look strong this season already, guys. I mean, they really do. They've secured a convincing win over New York. Tua struggled a little bit against New York, but that defense stepped up, picked him up. Maybe it was good to go. So they had an impressive fourth win though. They surged an early lead in that game against the Giants. They won 31-16. They accumulated a total of 524 yards, which 222 came from rushing. And unfortunately, Devon Achane, who contributed 151 of those rushing yards, sustained a knee injury. And I say unfortunately because I had Achane in fantasy, guys, and I wanted to continue to wreck with him because I was putting up 170 something points in my league, and I'm in a 12-man league, and that's pretty damn good in my opinion. So he's expected to be sidelined for a while. I don't know how long he's going to be out for. I think they said it's going to be a couple weeks. I think he's supposed to be out at least 4 to 6 weeks, maybe. We'll see how his production goes as time goes on. But Tua, he had a productive game against the Giants. He was 73.3% of his passes for 308 yards with 2 touchdowns. But he did throw 2 interceptions, which was returned. One was returned for a 102-yard touchdown. Tua connected with Tyreek Hill for a 69-yard touchdown pass. The Dolphins demonstrated its strengths, limiting the Giants to 268 yards, allowing only 9 points, all from all field goals. Now, the NFL, they have the NFL's leading offense. They have the most prolific offense. They had they put a 70 burger up on the Broncos in week 3. They're fast. They're a speedy, skilled team. They got a bunch of speed. Mostert, Hill, Waddle. We all know how fast those guys are. They're constantly contributing. They're getting open. And that's how you create success. And that's why Miami's so good, because they've put help around their quarterback. Wow. See what happens, Panther fans, when you have a competent head coach, you have a competent GM, and you're able to put pieces around your quarterback and you're able to put up 70 points in a game. That's what happens, right? When you got those guys kind of creating that separation, you're gonna win a lot of games. And so they lead the league in several crucial offensive categories, okay, including points scored, total yards gained, first downs, passing yards, rushing touchdowns. Tyreek Hill leads the NFL in receiving yards and 5 touchdowns, while Tua has over 1,600 passing yards, also place him at a top of the league. Even with a chain sideline, Miami can rely on Mostert, who shares the league lead with 7 rushing touchdowns. Another thing that we need to look out for in Miami. So let's talk about their defense for a second, because their defense may not shine brightly as their offense does statistically. But they excel in the pass rush department. Okay. Miami defenders lead the league in 43 quarterback hits, and are tied for 3rd with 17 sacks this season. Their linebacker, Andrew Van Ginkel, is a key contributor with 4 sacks and 7 quarterback hits. While their defensive tackle, Zach Sealer, has posted 3.0 sacks and 6 quarterback hits. Christian Wilkins holding 2 pass deflections, 6 quarterback hits, further strengthens this Dolphins defensive line. So in terms of tackles, Javon Holland leads the team with 43, closely followed by linebacker David Long with 36. The Panthers will have to be wary of the Dolphins' pass rush in this upcoming clash. As the Panthers prepare for this challenging matchup against the formidable Dolphins, they must get ready to face a high-flying offense and a tenacious pass rush, because that is going to be rough for us Panther fans this Sunday. It's going to be rough. It is going to be rough. Just looking at those offensive stuff. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm responding back to my company about something. This is not my full-time day job. I'm actually taking a lunch break and like doing football talk. That's what I do. I take a lunch break for an hour and I do football for an hour. So, okay. Sorry about that. All right, let me see what we got here. Panthers rule says 0-6. I mean, most likely, guys. Deadline approaching. Oh yeah. Saw that. Yeah, I forgot that Thursdays was for our coaching staff. Is just the coordinators on Thursday. I'm sure Frank probably will still talk though. Do you think Bryce finally getting a play wristband will help with the play clock? Absolutely. I mean, we saw some progress last week. I mean, he was doing it. He wasn't wearing it on his wrist. He had it on his like where his belt is, around his waist. He had it down there so he could do it like this. So he's not constantly going like this, trying to get the play and then go up to him and then go into it. It's too confusing that way. It's easier to just say, okay, 42 right, swift, clean clock, 32 scat, whatever. Right. And it's just easier to do it that way. Guys, make sure okay, sorry. I saw Hurt Stafford, Adams, and Stevenson from Amon-Ra and ETN. Dude, if you can get that, I like that trade, J man. Mostert or Curran and Williams. Jason, you can't go with the wrong either one. Favorable matchups. I'm trying to trade Kenneth Walker because of the tough schedule coming up. Who should I get? Kenneth Walker, you could trade him maybe for like I mean, you might be able to get like a Kyron Williams or I don't know. I would literally have to look at see who you could get. Start three: Olave, Cooper, Hopkins, Godwin, Jacoby Myers. Olave or Thielen. Olave. I'm not sure who you should get for Kenneth Walker, man. I would have to look. T. Higgins for Kyron Williams straight up. I would do it. I mean, T. Higgins isn't producing. Osborne or Downs? Osborne. I want to grab Deontay Johnson off waiver. Should I drop? I keep Jameson Williams. I wouldn't drop Jameson Williams. He's going to start getting some burn here soon. Why is this organization so poorly run? Because you got an owner that wants to be a Jerry Jones and wants to win now and is getting involved in football operations when he should be playing golf. Swift or Kyron Williams? I like Kyron Williams matchup better. Would you accept Devontae Smith and Curtis Samuel for Walker? No, I would not, Brandon. Trade CD for Mixon and Pittman. I mean, you could. I mean, you're getting. Shoot, that's tough, Tristan. I like CD still, but I don't know. It's a tough call. You're getting two for the price of one, though. So it could work out. Should I trade Kittle, Kirk, Madison? Good Lord. What are y'all trying to do over here? Y'all's fantasy teams are that bad that y'all are trying to make all these trades. Okay, Kittle, Kirk, Madison for Ayuk, Mostert, Goddard. Got Laporta. Chadster, I would do it. I think Ayuk and Mostert's going to bolster your team up a lot more. Tank Dell, Gabe Davis, or Jeff Wilson. Who do I start? Gabe Davis. Against the Giants, Gabe Davis. Pick 3, Bijan, Mostert, Pacheco. Pick 3, Bijan, Mostert, Pacheco, ETN. I would go Mostert, Pacheco, ETN. Bijan, yeah, they're going up against the Texans, but I think Mostert's going to run the ball all over us. Pacheco's in a favorable matchup against the Broncos. ETN is second and behind Christian McCaffrey, I think, in yards overall. So I would go with him. Start Ayuk or Ramondre? Ayuk. Zay Flowers or for Pacheco. If you need a running back that bad. Chadster, no problem. Ford or Javante? Javante. Start 2. Josh Downs. D'Amico or London? Downs in London. Trade Keenan Allen for Bijan. If you need a running back that bad, sure. Myers or Judy? Myers. Jefferson for Jake Elliott. I mean, if you need a kicker and if you're getting Amon-Ra, sure. Should I trade Moss for Christian Kirk? If you need a wide receiver that bad, Joseph, I would. Sure. Flowers, Kirk, Devontae Smith, start 2. Kirk and Devontae Smith. Pickens for Ramondre. If you need it, like I said, if you need a running back, I would make the trade. My wide receivers are Allen, Diggs, Adams. But my running backs are Jake. Not bad. All right. I want to see Bryce progress. That's it. This season is a wash. It's insane. Chin is missing that many plays. I know, James. We're not using Chin, and I just don't think he fits the narrative. He just doesn't fit the defensive system here. You know what I mean? So it makes sense to trade him. All right. So speaking of, since that kind of leads us into the next thing here, is exploring the future Jeremy Chin with the Carolina Panthers. Now I get it. He's a versatile safety. He can play nickel corner. He can play linebacker. He's been basically a shadow in this defense. And it raises some questions for me about his future here with limited play time. The possibility of his departure from this team just seems to be looming. The transition from the Steve Wilks 4-3 scheme to Everose 3-4 scheme was expected to lead to role changes for many players on our team. And then Chin reduced playing time has been notable when asked about his role in the coaching staff's plans. I think Chin has remained composed, stating that he was basically saying he's not 100% sure where they're at on him. And he's just saying he's just going to control what he can control at the end of the day is basically what he was saying in his quote. And he just believes that everything's going to work out the way, it's supposed to. He's a third. If y'all don't remember who Chin came out of, he was a 3rd round pick out of Southern Illinois, small college. I think Southern Illinois I think it's a D. I don't even know if it's D. I don't even think it's D1. I think it's like I'm not really sure what division it's in, but it might be D1. But he came on the scene, had a great rookie year, right? He finished the runner-up in Defensive Rookie of the Year votes. He contributed with 68 tackles, a sack, an interception. However, there has been some lingering questions about his ideal position on the field here with us, guys. So the question comes in then is, can he, is he too small for linebacker? Is he too large for the safety position? Can he hold up against the run in the box, excel in deep coverage, right? This has created an uncertainty about his role in the modern NFL era because it's challenging also faced by players like Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah Simmons had the same issue. and then he got traded to New York. So this situation does raise two questions for me, guys. So in the chat, if you want to, let me know. So the two questions in the chat that I want y'all to answer for me, and this is about Jeremy Chinn. Should Jeremy Chinn be traded? Okay, that's question one. And if you believe so, what trade options do you think you get for him? Right? Do you go for the draft picks, or do you go for a playmaking player like we were talking about getting a wide receiver? Obviously, that's been in talks, right? So, firstly, for me, it's a yes. You should explore a trade because Chinn has proven his playmaking abilities in a top 10 defense and has potential to make an impact on a contending team. He's in the final year of his rookie contract. He's a valuable asset. He's sitting on the bench for a struggling 0-5 Panthers team that isn't an ideal scenario for his career right now. And then from the Panthers' perspective, they could benefit from a trade as well because obviously following the Bryce trade, the team needs draft assets, and getting some value in return for a talented player who doesn't have a defined role really is a wise move, because the challenge, however, lies in the fact that in the season trades for players, there's no premium positions like Chinn really yield with substantial draft capital. So in context, a similar trade occurred last season, right? When Chicago traded Raquan Smith, middle linebacker, to Baltimore for AJ Klein and a 2023 second round pick and a 2023 fifth round pick. So Chinn's value is arguably lower than Smith's, and he won't play every down or assume the role of a on-field like communicator as Smith did for Baltimore. So realistically, I think the Panthers could expect a return of a 4th round pick and a 6th round pick for Chinn. A fair deal given is limited playing time and then the impending expiration of his contract. So, Chinn was asked about the trade rumors. He expressed that he wants to be here, emphasizing his commitment to our team. But the Panthers need to consider the future of the importance of accumulating draft capital, which is essential for this team developing on both sides of the football. So in the end, the decision regarding Jeremy Chinn's future with Carolina remains uncertain. All right, time will tell, right? However, I feel like this team's best interest right now, guys, may lie exploring trade options for him because to secure those valuable future assets. So everybody on the YouTube channel, thank you so much for joining the live stream today. Make sure you pound the like button. We're not done yet, but I just want to say thank you for joining, and make sure you pound the like button, guys. It's very tough, Dalton. It's very tough to be a Panthers fan right now. I'm ride or die, though. Always have been, always will. I've been a Panthers fan since I can remember, so. TikTok, I will get to your questions here shortly. I promise. I want to see Chinn at middle linebacker. I just think James, at the end of the day, you got to trade him. As much as maybe he might be a good fit there, he just doesn't seem to be fitting in this defensive system that Evero is running right now. Trade him for a third or a fourth. I think, like I said, I think you could get at least for him. I think you could get a 4th and a 6th round pick for him. And I think that would be fair. My starting running backs are McCaffrey, Mostert. Wide receivers are Devontae Adams, T. Higgins, Thielen, Samuels, and then solid lineup. Very solid lineup. Okay, so now let's get into the next topic. So then it kind of leads into this, exploring the prospect of Jared Jeudy, because obviously there's been talks about us going after Jared Jeudy, okay? With the fact that the Carolina Panthers obviously are on a rough start, the question still remains whether or not they should make a bold move to get a wide receiver. And Jared Jeudy's name has been thrown around, I think, more than anybody else has. Because right now we have a 32-year-old Adam Thielen, who is the only current top wideout on our team, who seems to be the only person that can create separation. So he's not and that's the thing with Thielen, he's not a long-term primary guy, right? He's going to be gone probably in the next I would say probably after this year, and he plays maybe next year, and then he might be on the way out. So obviously, we've had a lackluster season for us Panthers fans, and then we haven't fully utilized our team, our talent, and the lack thereof, honestly, because no offense, I mean, Thielen is making these young wide receivers like TJ or Terrace Marshall, DJ Chark, Jonathan Mingo. He's making them look like scrubs because they can't seem to create separation to save their life. No offense, I mean, they just can't. They're just not doing it. And whether that's the play calling issue or whether that's just the lack of talent issue, whatever the case may be, but you trade away DJ Moore, to secure Bryce Young for that first overall pick plus draft assets, right? And then unfortunately, the remaining wide receivers have struggled to again meet expectation with this team's. It's very uninspiring offense is what it is. It's an uninspiring offensive system. We're 0-5. We're facing a potential 0-6. They can't pull off a major. They're not going to pull off a major upset against the Miami Dolphins. We're under major pressure. Frank Wright's under pressure. GM Scott Fitter's under pressure. David Tepper wants to win now. He's in Frank's ear. He's in GM Scott Fitter's ear, wringing their necks. Frank Wright's coming out saying he's tough to deal with. It's just, and then Tepper's getting involved in the draft process now that the reports coming out like that. So he's basically becoming a Jerry Jones. So it suggests the fact that the possibility of more aggressive moves before the trade deadline, right? And the trade deadline ends on Halloween. So Carolina has been linked to the idea of acquiring a wide receiver 1 caliber weapon, but the problem is to help Bryce out. But this team's focus is on right now. Like I said, the team's focus needs to be on developing Bryce Young at this point and getting him some help too, for sure. But at this moment, you need to put an offensive system around him that fits benefits his strengths. Getting him some help definitely helps as well, obviously. But it's about developing him at this point. And especially since you don't have a first round pick in the 2024 NFL draft, right? We don't have it anymore because we traded away to the Bears last year. The trade market often heats up with rumors of potential fire sales, which we could be possibly in one. And Carolina is no exemption to that. The possibility of acquiring Jared Jeudy has surfaced as the Broncos might need to make a decision about their wide receiver duo due to the contract concerns. And then Jeudy has yet to reach 1,000 receiving yards in his career and has battled injuries. But he is known for his elite route running and ball skills. He's very good at getting open. He's very well known at getting open down the middle of the field, which is a benefit to Bryce because that seems to be where Bryce loves to throw the ball down the field when he does actually get the chance to do so, and the play calling fits that. But if the Broncos decide to part ways with him, it could lead to potential trade talks with the Panthers. The key factor in the potential trade would be it would cost. I think the Broncos would be looking for a significant compensation, unfortunately, because the Panthers are not overflowing with draft assets. So a third and a fourth round selection might be their limit, right? And the Broncos, have exercised the fact of Jared Jeudy's 5th-year option for 2024. And given the fact that the Panthers sometime to assess his fit within their system, the decision is a balancing act. On one hand, the Panthers are having a challenging season, might choose to avoid making big moves. On the other hand, the urgency of Bryce Young's development as a franchise quarterback is undeniable. Judy's recent social media activity, we've seen that, such as a following of many Panthers players on Instagram. He's obviously sparked some intriguing stuff. Keep pounding fins up, baby. Hey, Brown boy, I'm not looking forward to this game. I am not, man. I'm not, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Y'all Dolphin fans are funny. Y'all are a bunch of trolls. That's what you are, but it's all good. It's nothing but love at the end of the day. Panthers fans will be obviously I'll be watching closely as more of this develops. But be cautious, guys. I mean, we could be giving up a lot of draft assets that we shouldn't be giving up for a guy that we're not really too sure about, right? I'm not too sure about Jared Judy, right? Patrick Block, why is Thielen considered a not why isn't he is basically he is a wide receiver one to your question, Patrick, but where he lines up on the field, he's not like an outside guy. He plays within the slot. That's how he gets open. But he's definitely wide receiver one on this team. But he just plays in the slot. So he's not an outside guy like others, like other wide receiver ones, right? Like he's not like a Devontae Adams or whatever. So but he's definitely considered wide receiver one because he's the only one that's getting open. So I lived through the bad. AJ feels, oh yeah, Pat White, Eras, Fins football. I feel you, bro. Yeah, I mean, every football team I feel like has gone through this, right? You know, every football team has gone through this. All right, let's get into my week 6 picks. Let's get into my week 6 picks. YouTube, appreciate everybody in here. We need it. All right, let me get in the comments real quick for the YouTube channel. So YouTube, all right. So chat, we need an outside wide receiver, big body T Higgins. I don't like T Higgins, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think he's a true wide receiver one. I really don't. I just don't see it. Whether it's just because he's over there in Cincinnati and Jamar Chase is kind of overshadowing him, could be a possibility, but I feel like T Higgins is a little streaky for me. I feel like we need a guy like a Jared Judy who gets open down the middle of the field that fits to Bryce's strengths. That's what you have to get. You need to get guys that fit to his strengths, especially when you're developing him. So, that's kind of where I'm at with it. That's true too. Dan, man, do you wish you drafted Stroud? I don't think it's going to make a difference, Dan, man. I truly believe, I think Stroud might have been the better fit, right? Because of Frank Wright's offense and the way he runs it. But I think that, with the talent and the lack of depth and injuries and too many egos in the front office and all that, I don't think it would make a difference, honestly, Dan, man. I really don't. I just don't think it would make a difference. If you could, would you undo the McCaffrey trade? Oh, that's a tough call. Honestly, I mean, at this point, I probably would because the draft picks we got for him, yes, were great, but did we capitalize on them? No. Patrick Block says the zone blocking is what's killing our offense. Absolutely. Stroud would, by the way, struggle too, I would think. Yeah, I mean, that it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter who you have in this situation. We lack in depth. We lack in talent. We have too many egos going on in our front office. Too much turmoil. Not enough motivation. Not enough in your face football. It's just a disappointment. Someone who can get up and get it. Yeah, but James, he drops too many balls too, though. He drops too many passes. That's the reason why I don't like T. Higgins. Scott Fitt will be the first to go, probably, because I mean, now the draft process, it's part of me has to put the blame on David Tepper now that all these rumors are coming out that he was the one that was getting involved in these football operations and choosing, telling guys who to pick, and obviously he told him to go after Bryce, whatever the case may be. But I mean, I still think Scott's on the hot seat. I think our scouts who scout these talents to say, hey, go after these guys, I think they need to be also fired. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, we basically, if you think about it, we sold our future to the Bears. Right? I mean, I still think that I still believe in Bryce. I'm not going to say that I don't, because I'm still ride or die with Bryce because he's my quarterback. But like I said, at the end of the day, it comes down to embracing him, developing him, fitting a system around him, getting him some help. And Frank Wright just needs to understand that he needs to change up his offensive system to do so. Nick Saban even came out and said that he had to do the same thing when Bryce got there. It is what it is. And at the end of the day, that's what you got to do. Pete Hazer says, be happy your Mac Jones isn't your quarterback. I feel bad for Patriots fans, man. Chris Godwin be a really good trade for the Panthers. He could, but I don't see Tampa Bay making that trade. Most guys don't make the trade. Teams within your division aren't going to trade with you, and if they do, it's going to be you getting swindled, right? Your team's going to get the short end of the stick. You know what I mean? So, and that's just how it is. You know what I mean? Patrick, I mean, Dan Morgan might be good. I like the guy over Adam Peters, the assistant GM for the 49ers. If they decide to part ways with Scott, I'd reach out to him. Peter Gazer. Yeah, I was just talking about exploring getting Jared Judy. So let's get into my week 6 picks. I don't know if y'all could see that or not over there. Might be better if I do it this way. Yeah, that's better. You can see it now. You can see it now on YouTube. YouTube can see it a lot better that way. So week 6 picks, guys. So for tonight, first time for tonight's matchup, got the Broncos and you got the Kansas City Chiefs. This game is going to be, first off, the Chiefs are double-digit favorites, all right, for the second time this season. And they've covered in week 3 against the Bears. The Broncos are a mess, and they rank last in the league in scoring defense. The number would still be at like 27. So if you don't count the 70-point disaster against the Dolphins, right, the Chiefs can work with that at home. So again, like I told y'all, Patrick Mahomes is 11-0 as a starter against the Broncos. So I'm taking the Chiefs in this one. Big. I got the Chiefs big tonight, guys. NFL, the kid in here, you're sick. Sorry to hear that, brother. Hope you feel better. So I got the Chiefs 34-17 tonight. I'm taking the Chiefs and that big in this one. I think they win by 17 points. Baltimore Ravens. Let's go into the UK matchup. The Baltimore Ravens at the Tennessee Titans. Another London game. Again, the Ravens are playing their 4th game on the road in 5 weeks, guys. So you got to think about that. They're playing their 4th game on the road for 5 weeks. So talk about a crazy stretch of games there. And it doesn't get easier for them because they go against Detroit in week 7 and Lamar Jackson, Ryan Tannehill. They're both getting sacked way too much, in my opinion, guys. The Titans have 3 games where they have scored 16 points or less. And going overseas games are very tough. You get jet lagged, right? Both teams are 0-1 all time in London. I'm going to take the Ravens, though. I think it's going to be a close game. So I think it's going to be like a 24-20 kind of game. So I think the Ravens will beat the Titans. Diego, there's Panthers fan. You're a troll, bro. That's messed up, man. Washington Commanders at the Atlanta Falcons. So let's go through this again, chat. 24. The Falcons are 3-0 at home. All right. The Commanders are 31st in the NFL for scoring defenses. Sam Howell leads the league in sacks. He's been sacked 29 times. It's a recipe for disaster for the Commanders, in my opinion. I think the Atlanta is going to grind out this victory against Washington. Washington did have some extra time off after that disaster against Chicago. I'm sticking with a home team in this one. I still think it's going to be close, though. I think the Falcons just wear them down with the run game with Bijan. But I mean, Desmond Ritter did throw for 300 yards last game. So, the passing game, it seems to be improving a little bit for the Falcons, but I'm taking the Falcons in this one, 27-24. Next game, we got the Minnesota Vikings at the Chicago Bears. All right. So Justin Jefferson went down. All right. We know that. Kirk Cousins led Minnesota to victories in the last 3 starts. Very close. All right. At Soldier Field. First off, let me make that clear. Sorry, I didn't finish my sentence there. They have led, Kirk Cousins has led Minnesota to victories in his last 3 starts at Soldier Field. Okay. All right. I'm not going for Atlanta NFL to get. I'm just picking them to win this game. But Fields, I think, gets his first. I'm sticking with a hot hand. I'm sticking with a hot hand. I'm taking Justin Fields in this one. After the game they had against Minnesota. So I think he gets his first win against the Minnesota Vikings. So I think Justin Fields gets his first win against Minnesota. I got the Bears winning 31-24 in that one. Seattle at Cincinnati. I think the Bengals are getting back on track, guys. I think they're finally putting a formula together that works for them. Joe Burrow seems to be kind of coming back into himself, right? Starting to feel 100% again. Obviously, Jamar Chase got 19 targets in the last game. Cincinnati is also 2-0 when Jamar Chase gets targeted 15 or more times. Just if you didn't know that. Seattle has allowed 280 passing yards per game. So Seahawks are tough against the run, but the offense has committed 1 turnover in 4 games. So this isn't a layup of a game by any means for the Cincinnati Bengals. But I trust that Cincinnati is, I trust Cincinnati because Cincinnati's 14-6 in their last 20 home games. 14-6 in their last 20 home games. So giving the Bengals 28-24 in that one. Now, this one's an intriguing matchup for me. I really like this one. The San Francisco 49ers versus Cleveland Browns. I think it's the 2 best defenses in the league going head-to-head here. Cleveland has only allowed 15 points, around 196 yards per game. Jim Schwartz is obviously going to try to bring the pressure against Brock Purdy. I think San Francisco, however, has enough options to offset that. The defense allows 13.6 points and then 266.8 yards per game. Apparently, Deshaun Watson could be out, but then there's also rumors that he could return. There's also been rumors that, there's also been rumors that he was in Houston visiting this past week that he was off. So that's kind of interesting. I wonder what he was doing in Houston. So the Browns have won the last 3 home games against the 49ers, but this 49ers team is different, man. They're built different. I just think that if Deshaun Watson does return, it could be close, but if he doesn't return, I think the 49ers is going to it's going to be not even close. So give me the 49ers in this one. I'm going to go 24. I'm going to go 24-14 49ers. Carolina Panthers, Miami Dolphins. I'm going to skip that one. I'll go over that game in my preview and prediction tomorrow. We'll dive into more of that. Damn, it's still raining outside. Is that Toy Christian? CMC, is that you? Oh man, y'all are trolling. Tony Romo, Clay, guess what? I really don't want to know. I really don't want to know, Tony Romo. I'm sorry in advance, Miami fan here. Hey, it's all good, man. It's all good. Indianapolis Colts at the Jaguars. So let's go into dive into this game real quick, guys. Grim Reaper, keep pounding, man. My guy. Thanks, Grim Reaper. Appreciate you joining the live stream over here on YouTube. Make sure you pound that like button, guys. Uh, so far it's been a hell of a show. Oh man, y'all are trolling, man. Yeah, y'all are trolling. Oh. So the Colts are playing their 4th division game in 6 weeks, guys. Gardner Minshew, love the stash. He's been efficient. Zach Moss outperformed Jonathan Taylor. Obviously giving him a little bit more run support. Jacksonville returns home after a 2-week vacation in London. I think the Jaguars pull away from the Colts in this one. I still believe in the Jaguars. I still believe in Sunshine. This one will be a tight one in the 4th quarter, but I think Jacksonville squeeze it out. I think it's going to be like a 28-24 kind of game. Next one is the Saints at Houston Texans. So the Saints have been kind of unpredictable in the last 2 weeks, but their 34-0 victory against the 34 victory against New England, 34-0. That on the road they look good. I mean, Houston offers another opportunity though, because CJ Stroud has yet to throw an interception. He hasn't taken a sack in the last 3 games. Derek Carr hasn't put up great numbers. He hasn't thrown an interception in the last 3 weeks. I'm still taking the Saints in this one. I think they beat Houston. I think they go to Houston and get a victory. It's going to be a close game. It'll be like a 23-20 kind of game. TMC, talk about your team. Dude, I was just the past hour, I was just talking about not the 49ers, but the Panthers. Past that, actually, how long have I been live on YouTube? Past hour and a half, I was talking about him. So New England at the Raiders. That's the next game. Go figure that Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels. Obviously, this was going to be a matchup sooner. I knew that this was going to be on the schedule. This is a tough game to pick for me. Even though Jacoby Myers, who threw the ill-fated lateral New England to that 30-24 loss last season. Now he plays for the Raiders now. He's been balling out. I have him in fantasy, so he's been doing pretty damn good. That is one subplot, but the bottom line is that New England has scored 3 points in the last 2 games. So if Mac Jones can't win here, then it might be time to go ahead and put Bailey Zappi in. The question is, will Jimmy Garoppolo haunt Bill Belichick here? Good spot for a light upset. I'm going to take the Patriots in this one. I think Bill Belichick out coaches Josh McDaniels. I think it'll be 21-17 Patriots. Okay, Arizona at Los Angeles Rams. This one's easy. The Rams are going to outperform the Arizona Cardinals, and they're going to beat them at their weakest point now because of the injuries that the Cardinals have. They have been competitive because Joshua Dobbs actually has shown that he can play quarterback a little bit in the NFL. Connor's shoulder injury in the offense, that team's going to struggle. And in the pass defense, they're hard to overcome on the road. The Rams got Cooper Kupp back for Matthew Stafford. They're struggling to run the ball too a little bit, but the Cardinals have won 2 of the last 3 matchups in Los Angeles. But I think with the issues that the Cardinals have, I think the Rams exploit this matchup. I think they get the win here, 30-24. So next up, you got the Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Jets. So this one's intriguing to me because both of these defenses are very good. I mean, the Eagles have been road warriors up to this point with 3 covers in 3 road games. The offense is generating over 404 yards per game with Jalen Hurts. And DeAndre Swift is averaging 5.7 yards per carry, right? 5.7 yards per carry. And A.J. Brown ranks 4th in the NFL with 541 receiving yards. So there aren't too many options for the Jets to defend. And that will be very apparent in this game, in my opinion. So Zach Wilson, who's completed like 72.3% of his passes in the last 2 weeks, he'll keep it competitive, but he'll end up pulling a Zach Wilson. I think the Eagles win this one 28-20. Detroit Lions at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, this one, it could go either way. I think this is a coin flip game because Tampa Bay has been playing very well. All right. But I think Detroit is the better team. Dan Campbell has built a team that's an NFC contender, in my opinion. They've been ruthless in the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. Tampa Bay had a bye week. Baker has been kept clean in the pocket. The Buccaneers are coming off a bye, and it will be wearing they're going to be wearing the creamsicle throwbacks in the jerseys in this game. So, which is kind of cool. So Detroit has won 3 straight games by 14 or more points. I still think the Lions get a win here. It's a close call. I'm going to go 31-27 Lions over the Buccaneers. New York Giants and Buffalo Bills. This one, I'm not even going to harp on too long. Buffalo Bills are going to beat the Giants, and it's not even going to be close. With the fact that the Giants are going through injury issues, right? I have to take the Bills. The Bills are going to beat this team pretty badly. It's going to be like 35-21 with the Giants. They can't protect Daniel Jones. Saquon continues to be in doubt. It's a disaster to start for this team, who I thought was a surprising last year. The scary part is New York has forced 3 turnovers and it's still allowed 524 yards against Miami. So, and Buffalo has won its first 2 home games by 28 points. Another Sunday night football that, it's not going to be much of an incited game. There's too many points to leave here. Bills are going to win this game, like I said, 35-21. Then last but not least, the Dallas Cowgirls versus the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, this is – I like the Cowboys in this matchup to bounce back. They've been terrible on the road in the West Coast, losing to Arizona, San Fran. Dak has a 69.9 completion with 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in those 2 losses. Now they had to face the Chargers, who are coming off a bye week, have played 4 games, decided by 7 points or less, right? Dallas is 3-0 when favored by single digits this season. I still think that defense is elite with Micah Parsons. The defense can get back on track. This is bound to be a field goal game either way. Give me the Cowboys 31-28 over the Los Angeles Chargers. And those are your week 6 picks of the week. So YouTube, we went over some Panthers news. We went over and TikTok. Y'all are here. We said, who are the Miami Dolphins? We dived into that. We did some news, some updates, talking about, the versatile role of Laviska Shenault, the possibility of trading Jeremy Chin, the offensive changes for Frank Wright, the praise for Bryce Young by Mike McDaniels. Then we dived into, giving you some facts and stuff. We talked about who the Miami Dolphins are. It's always good to know who your opponent is before the matchup, right? And then we went over exploring the future of Jeremy Chin, whether it's him staying here and using his versatility in this defense somehow, some way, and getting more playing time, or trading him, right? And then we talked about the Jared Jeudy, possibly getting him to, help Bryce out in the wide receiver room, getting him some help, especially, since Bryce likes to go down the middle of the field and throw the ball in the middle of the field. Jared Jeudy fits the narrative there. Just some injuries and some concern me a little bit, right? So, another thing is, and then we went into the week 6 picks. So just kind of giving you a quick overview. Everybody over here on YouTube, appreciate you joining the live stream. Make sure you pound the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're on the road to 5K. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Make sure you get into the link tree. It's down below in the live stream. Go check it out. Join the Discord if you want to get involved. Tomorrow we're doing a jersey giveaway, so make sure you get in there. So if you join the Discord, you take a screenshot that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, you post it in the hashtag giveaway. Your name will get put on the wheel tomorrow, and we'll do a jersey giveaway tomorrow. All right. And make sure you check out all my links, guys, in the link tree for my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok over here on YouTube. Go check it out. And then also go check out betusa.com over here. The link is down below. Sign up for free today. You get a 125% bonus on your first bet. All right. So I appreciate everyone joining. And as always, guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow because we're going to be going over a preview and prediction of the Miami game and then doing the jersey giveaway. So make sure you tune in. So I appreciate everybody joining the live stream. As always, guys, over here on YouTube, keep pounding. Peace.